In this video, I'm going to share with you a few of the ways in which I was able to double the quality of my sleep. Now, I was able to measure this and track this with a device called the Zeo, which I've talked about in a few previous videos. And essentially what this device does is measures your brain waves when you sleep and measures the amount of time it takes you to get to sleep, what time you fall asleep, how many times you wake up during the night, how long you're awake, as well as how much time you're spending in light sleep, in deep sleep, and in REM sleep. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what I was able to do, what I was able to accomplish, and the importance of sleep, and then of course how I was able to do it. So the first thing and the most important thing is sleep. When it comes to improving your health, improving your quality of life, having more performance and just feeling better overall in all aspects of your life, sleep is really where it's going to come from. And to use the metaphor or to tap into Chinese medicine, if we want more yang, if we want more activity, if we want more utilization of energy, then we need to work focused on the yin and cultivate the yin, which is the storage and accumulation of energy, which is essentially sleep. So if we want a higher quality of life, we want more energy, we want more achievement, we want more happiness and health, we need to sleep better. And what I like about the Zeo is it actually allows me to track and measure the quality and the quantity of my sleep objectively. Because sure, you can wake up and think, yeah, I think I slept pretty good, but in actuality, you may have not actually slept very good, or you might think you need 10 hours of sleep to feel good, but in reality, if you were able to optimize your sleep, you might be able to get away with a lot less, which will give you more time to live your life and do the things that you want to do. So in a nutshell, if you want a higher quality of life and more health, vitality, etc., you need to focus on and improve the quality of your sleep. So what I was able to do is essentially double the amount of deep sleep that I was getting on a regular basis. So on average, I was hovering around about 50 to 55 minutes of deep sleep per night. Now this is regardless of whether I slept for 7 hours or 10 hours, I was still right around that range. And it was very puzzling to me, and I wasn't sure why this was happening. I thought it should be higher because some nights I would get 4 hours of REM sleep or 4.5 hours of REM sleep or somewhere in that range, but still deep sleep was just right around an hour, and the rest of my sleep was just light sleep. So basically what I was able to do was go from about 50-55 minutes to right around 2 hours of deep sleep, which left me waking up feeling almost just incredibly rested. And what I meant to say is almost reborn. It's just you wake up and you feel like that you slept and rested so deeply that you almost just feel like a different person, and you start your day and you just feel this energy that's being built up and being accumulated, and you just feel so good when you wake up, and you really start to look at sleep in a much different way. Because I thought I slept pretty good for a long time. I could go to sleep pretty easy, I could stay asleep for as long as I wanted to, but I didn't really have any way to measure that, and in a lot of ways I can see now that the sleep I was getting wasn't as good as the sleep that I'm getting now. So that's what I was able to do, is double the quantity of my deep sleep, which is deep is where a lot of rest and regeneration and repair in our body is taking place. And I can tell you that from being able to do this, I'm noticing just tissues being put onto my body. I've noticed that I'm gaining weight. I've noticed that I'm putting on muscle really without spending any time in the gym or any time doing push-ups or bodyweight exercises. All I'm really doing is Bagua and some yoga and some of the things that I'm going to mention in just a minute. So that's essentially what I was able to do. And the two primary causes of this that I've been able to determine so far, the first is taking Ho Shu Wu about 10 minutes or so before I go to bed. Now you can see a link for that below, and I'll post a little link where you can go and check out my favorite source for that. And essentially the process is take about a teaspoon or two of the Ho Shu extract, mix it with about 4 to 8 ounces of hot water the temperature that you would use to make tea, that you would use to steep tea, so it's kind of steaming but still cool enough to drink. So if you want to just do a shot, you can just do 2 ounces, stir it up in there and chug it. If you want more of like a tea to sip on, you can do about 4 ounces or 8 ounces, depending on your preference. I usually just do a shot, take it down, and then maybe read for a few minutes, and then just go to bed or just go lay down and kind of meditate and chill. But usually what you notice from that is just an immediate kind of calming, grounding effect, because Hoshu is classified as a yin, jing, and a blood tonic. So basically those characteristics are going to make it helping to facilitate the process of rest and rejuvenation and building up of the yin essence in the body. And the fact that it's going to help to build blood is beneficial for both men and women, and tends to have a very grounding, very balancing effect. It also has many other effects, but for this focus and for this context, it really is one of the best yin tonics, meaning it helps us regenerate and restore energy, which is why it's so ideal and so effective to take before you go to bed, because it just really helps your body do what it's already trying to do while you're sleeping. So for the Hoshu Wu, I'll be posting a little box right here below where you can learn more about that, and also I'll be posting a coupon code where you can get 15% off your whole order at Hyperion Earth. So that's the first thing, and again, you'll see a link for that below where you can go check out more information on that. The second thing that I've been doing is something that I actually did a lot in the past and have moved away from, and now and back on it in a slightly different form. So the second thing that I think has really taken my sleep to the next level is doing about 10 to 15 minutes of inversions before bed. Now in the past, what I mentioned previously is that I was doing like headstand and shoulder stand for an average of probably 10 or 15 minutes each times 2, so that would be 20 to 30 minutes of inversions, which is really hard to do and took me a couple years to actually build up to be able to do that. But now that I don't really practice that anymore, I'm really not able to do that, so I'm not able to get the benefits. So what I have done is I bought an inversion table, and now I can hang upside down and invert completely for 10-15 minutes without much effort, without much strain on my part. And gradually over time, I hope to work back up to being able to invert for about a half an hour, but it just takes time and it just takes practice. So you might get on an inversion table, you might get upside down and only be able to do 2 or 3 minutes, and that's fine. Just realize that over time, as you breathe through it, as your body acclimates, you will be able to invert for longer periods of time. So actually, where I got the inversion table was Walmart. I was just Googling around because I could order online, but I was kind of impatient, just wanted the instant gratification. So I found, actually, surprisingly enough, a local Walmart store had one for $120. And so if you want to find something now, you want some instant gratification, you have $120, $130 you want to spend, I highly recommend it. And the benefits of the inversion table are pretty massive and pretty profound. It's one of the most powerful things that yoga has to offer as a system. But what I like about the inversion table is you don't have to spend years to be able to work your body up to the point to be able to hold the pose for that long. You can just actually get on there and do it. So that's where I got my inversion table. You can get on Amazon and find some cheaper, some more expensive, depending on what your budget is. They're all pretty good, they're all pretty comparable. Just read the reviews, and I'm sure you'll find something that you like. So those are the two things that I did. The Hoshu Wu about 5 to 10 minutes before bed, and the inversions. And those were the two things that really just catapulted my sleep to a profoundly higher level, something that's I look forward to going to bed at night now, and I look forward to getting on the Zeo and tracking my progress and seeing how my scores are just going higher and higher and higher. But in actuality, I'm sleeping less. So before I would get, say, a high score of 100, 107, I had to sleep 9 or 10 hours, but now I'm able to get that in 8 hours. I'm able to just gradually knock back the time and get higher quality of sleep, better sleep score in less time, which is pretty cool because it's less time I have to sleep and more time I can actually live and do the things that I want to do. So again, that's how I doubled the quality of my sleep. I went from about 50 minutes of deep sleep per night to about 2 hours per night using Hoshu Wu and using inversion tables. And using an inversion table, which is something that I'll be talking about more in future videos, because the benefits of inversions are totally amazing and definitely deserving of their own video. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.